Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. Y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, hey, countdown to the biggest fight in heavyweight boxing right now, and that has to be Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder on October the 9th. It's going to be a barn burner of a fight, of course, if Fury shows up, right? Because that's still a question mark. For those who, wonder why I continue to say that, then you should wonder why Tyson Fury has acted, the way he's acted up until now. Going through over 9 months, probably close to a year of litigation trying to get out of the Deontay Wilder fight. After the first fight, getting out of the contract, going to fight Otto Wallen and Tom Schwartz. Also the July 24 fight being canceled because of COVID, if he really had it. We have no proof, right? So there's a lot of reasons why I don't believe that the fight is still going to happen. And you think about, when he came and he said him and Anthony Joshua just got through talking to the people from Saudi Arabia, and him and Anthony Joshua fight is 100% finished. 3-4 days later, then he lost the litigation and had to fight Deontay Wilder. Those are a lot of reasons to believe the dude ain't showing up. And then some people saying he's not fit, he's not ready, which I'm not falling for that. Right? Tyson Fury, I done said it before, he doesn't have to be fit and all that ready stuff, but the other people are. He doesn't have to do that. He's a fighter. He just got to show up. And I just have my doubts about him showing up, and I should. I will continue to repeat that, and you should as well. But if the fight happens, it's going to be something. Now, Tyson Fury said if he shows up, he's going to be heavier. He's heavier now. He's going to be heavier. He also says that Deontay Wilder is not lasting as long. He's coming out, guns blazing. He's coming forward. He's coming to get your boy Deontay Wilder out there a lot earlier, right, than last time. Now, another thing he says, though, and this is very funny, right? He says, though, that Deontay Wilder is the second best heavyweight, basically. He thinks Deontay Wilder beats Usyk, Dillian Whyte, and Anthony Joshua, right? All of that stuff. He thinks Deontay Wilder is the most dangerous, actually he said the most dangerous boxer, period, not the only heavyweight. So, but he just says he can't beat me. And for those, we're Wilder fans, right? But Tyson Fury should believe this, right? That when, you put the cheating aside. The cheating, he doesn't feel like there's any remorse or repentance for the cheating that he does, because he's done it so many times and there's never any repercussions. And when there's not repercussions, there's no reason to feel like I need to change anything, right? If I was able to do this on national TV and people are seeing this, and all of the articles that are written like this one as well, is like, hey, Deontay Wilder's making excuses after the fight, right? Instead of saying, hey, Deontay Wilder makes the same accusation that John McDermott did, right? The things that happened with Christian Hammer fight, the things that Nicholas Asbury was saying as a sparring partner of Tyson Fury, right? Deontay Wilder is saying those things have happened because they've happened before. No article says that. It's just Deontay Wilder's making up conspiracy theories and they're outlandish, right? Every single article. And then the same people who write those articles wonder why Deontay Wilder ain't talking to them. So it is what it is. Right, but all of that being said doesn't hamper the fact, or that Tyson Fury is a damn good fighter. He thinks Deontay Wilder is number two, and he's hoping that Deontay Wilder, since you're number two, bring a challenge this time, because I beat the hell out of you last time, right? So bring a challenge. So that's what he's saying. So that it's interesting. Seems like I'm gonna be wrong. Seems like he gonna show up, right? But yeah, I think that's an important stuff. I think the Deontay Wilder right now, you can have him at second or third on the list. We were talking about that. I think, you can have him either before Usyk or after Usyk at second or third in the heavyweight list. Tyson Fury has to be still number one. We that know what went down, or think that we know that went down when the second Deontay Wilder fight, wouldn't have Fury first. But actually, those are what mainstream media is going to have. Just like you probably won't have Canelo Alvarez nowhere near your pound-for-pound number one, right? Because of what but mainstream media is not putting that out there. So on their list, he's going to still be up there, face of boxing, pound-for-pound number one, like they're oblivious of all these truths that we know. So I think that was very interesting. Tyson Fury says Deontay Wilder is the second best heavyweight. you should bring it when you come, bring it to the fight, bro, because I'm going to try to knock your butt out a little bit earlier. And I encourage you guys to do another thing. I probably have it up here in the information. I did a video about before July, in May, I think it was. And the video was just called, get ready for Usyk and Deontay Wilder. It's a definite possibility. Usyk versus Deontay Wilder for undisputed. And I was talking about it then. I had made the prediction in May that Tyson Fury wasn't showing up in July, for example, and it happened, right? And I was saying that Joshua has a real problem, real issue with Alexander Usyk because of his will to win. That proved to be good. Y'all need to check that out because now Deontay Wilder still would have to beat Fury, but the possibilities are there, and everybody knows it, which leads us up to the great fight that we're about to have soon. So let's see, the end of this year might save all of the things that we've been through in boxing at the beginning of the year with fights that we didn't see. People don't even realize little things before I check out here. Look at Teofimo Lopez, right? Teofimo Lopez could have simply fought for undisputed against Devin Haney. And we would probably have the rematch by now between those two. Because an undisputed fight, why not have a rematch, right? But instead of doing that, he wanted to fight Kambosos. Kambosos wasn't his mandatory challenger, right? They fought for him to be the mandatory challenger, right? And then they got him there, and then they would say, well, why should I fight Devin Haney when I can fight in front of 60,000 people in Australia? And then after that, you didn't want to fight in Australia, right? And now the fight is just being moved over and over and over because he's tried to go to a purse bid, and just ridiculousness. And all of these things that are going with his fight being moved all over the place, right, is because he just didn't fight Devin Haney. Right? Simple. That's all you had to do for undisputed. And then the press would have got behind everything and made him fight Devin Haney, but they don't. So now you got the shenanigans. Same thing with Canelo Alvarez. So it was just shenanigans. Up here, trying to fight a dude won't take the dope test within 10 weeks, or within 12 weeks of the fight. And you're going up to 168 to try to be undisputed there because, hey, he could have been undisputed at 160 fighting Demetrius Andrade. Undisputed for more money than he's going to get right now. Sounds familiar. So that's why we're not getting these fights. So at the end of the day, if Fury and Deontay Wilder fight, it would be a good fight. Then we got Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter coming up. There's a fight where both are going to show up. So that's pretty, there's something going on at least. But we are missing a lot of fights. And I'm just going to be honest with you. And it ain't the fault of no brothers. Demetrius Andrade would have been there. Devin Haney would have been there. Devin Haney waiting on Ryan Garcia or Jojo Diaz or Lomachenko or Teofimo Lopez. Got 4 people there. Awesome fights, and ain't nobody going to do it. And Canelo up there just trying to fight anybody, but he could have fought Charlo as his mandatory huge fight or Demetrius Andrade for undisputed. He's not going to do it, right? Tyson Fury trying for over a year to not fight Deontay Wilder in a contracted fight. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of fights that are not happening, but it ain't their fault. It's a lot of people that are getting away with it. The media would have to step up, but why would they? You know what I'm saying? They're not, right? Because at the end of the day, they keep these brothers in the Negro Leagues and don't give them an opportunity to become undisputed, because if they become undisputed, what do I always say? The shenanigans stop. And we can't stop the shenanigans now, can we? Anyway, I'm out of here. Done with Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.